got to be a way to turn that off, right?
There's got to be, but who knows? We are live now, though. Okay,
Wow,
cool.
incredible.
We are live on all
we
the
are live
things.
and we are alive.
People are
Living.
watching this happen.
We
100.
We're live on Facebook. We are live on Periscope. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Homerphilia Facebook. We're live on Thursday Night Live
goodness.
Facebook.
I'm
There
sharing
we
that, baby.
Hell yeah!
Oh, look at the new Simpsons room we're
Right,
in.
I put us in a room. We got a nice little new layout
Aw.
going on here, trying to look cute
We're
or whatever. Yeah,
Wow,
I
we got
figured.
Fan Ant logo.
I know I dug a little bit deeper into the program, and I'm starting to understand stuff a tiny bit more.
Aw.
So here's me trying to make us look prettier.
We're
So
doing it.
hey, anybody watching right now at home?
Homerphilia.
We are, we're doing a podcast. We're gonna get the sharings out there really quick and do what we can, and then we're gonna start the actual podcast audio. So bear with us for a couple seconds. Maybe check out our nice little layout we got going on now. We're in the Simpsons living room with the couch, and I guess I am probably the dog in this scenario since I'm laying on the carpet, and Andy and Devin are.
I'm Devin.
You guys are Simpsons.
I'm
probably.
Andy.
All right. Did you guys get those shares out there?
Oh, I
Get
smashed
there.
that share button.
Smash that share button. All right, everybody. So here's we are the Homerphilia podcast. Any viewers we have right now. So what we do is we record a podcast every week. And we are attempting to watch the entire run of The Simpsons. We watch one episode.
We're not attempting.
We are doing it. We're balls deep in it. It's pretty much where we are. But we so pretty much we watch an episode every week, and then we talk about it often with a guest, but and often together in the same room. But because of the quarantine, we are doing it remotely, and we're not having a guest, and we're just gonna talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. So we will.
Wouldn't it be weird if this is how we did it before?
Yeah, and then we did it the way that we do it normally during the quarantine. Yeah, that would be weird. All right, cool. We have some viewers. We have some people. We're all set. We're ready to go. So I'm going to do a countdown like normal. And when I get to 0, that is where our actual weekly podcast that will be released somewhere down the road, that's the audio is going to start then. So keep in mind, you can comment on the comments, and we'll keep track of it. And let's have a good time. We're going to go for about an hour, maybe longer. Who knows? But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, geez, you guys. I'm still quarantined.
Oh,
I want to go on record right now as saying that if I were in charge of The Simpsons, I would make Grimace a member of the Simpsons family.
Yeah.
Direct member.
That is inflammatory talk right
Why?
off the bat.
I think that it's good,
I think
and
the
I
family
think
unit of the Simpsons could not be any more perfect than it already is. And to bring a giant purple menace into the equation, who knows? Who knows what kind of Pandora's boxes you're opening?
If
with
you
that.
told
He would be older than Bart, I believe.
If you told me that Grimace was Homer Simpson in disguise, I would entertain that idea and explore it because I think it's possible.
Like going down that rabbit hole, if you ever notice that Krusty kind of looks like Homer,
Yes.
it's because he is drawn to, or the original idea was that was Homer's secret identity, and that was like a passion of his, and he didn't tell his family that he was a clown, and they had just ended up deciding to make it a separate character.
Yeah.
But the idea was to have that be Homer. That's why he looks so much like him.
Yeah, I mean, they bombed it right away because the very first time we see Krusty, they're in the same room. So they abandoned that relatively early. They must have then. Hey, Ma Laser, I'm a Firing is back.
Hey,
welcome back.
Wow.
That's
A new fan.
Yeah, that's the fan of ours we gained from the Longmont Potion Castle stream coming
Hell
back.
yeah.
So
What up,
welcome
what up?
back.
The person I assumed was being sarcastic, but might have actually been earnest.
Yes, that's
Ernest goes to camp.
yeah. Ernest goes to, what were we talking about last time? Ernest goes to Africa. Did anybody watch that?
No, you can't. If you can't find it anywhere, they obviously don't make it anymore.
Oh, is it? It's
and
that bad?
Copies of it on eBay are like really expensive because it's hard to find.
Wow.
Yeah, it'd be really fucked up if we spent a bunch of money on dumbass VHS tapes.
Right. It would be really fucked up if we got everything that we have. You know what? I was going through our Simpsons back stock of things that we've acquired already. You know, side note, anybody watching, if you guys want to send us your useless Simpsons stuff or useful Simpsons stuff, really any Simpsons stuff, feel free to mail it to us at to Planet Ant at 2320 Kniff. What?
My God.
Oh my God! What?
Ernest Goes to Africa is free on Tubi right now.
Wow!
All right. Well,
Tubi, my favorite streaming service.
What is Tubi?
Okay.
What's Tubi?
Tubi is like Netflix.
Is it like tube, like TUBY, or is it like to be, like to be or not to be? I don't understand the context of the word.
TUBI.
TUBI. So it's like Hulu.
It's an app like
right.
Netflix, but it's all free and there's advertisements and stuff.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of trash movies on there, including Ernest Goes to Africa. It's there. It's for free on Tubi.
Why don't you watch that and you check back in with us and let us know if it's racist or not?
Okay.
Spoiler alert. I think we already know that it's going to be racist.
I think the answer to that question is a yes.
A resounding yes.
For sure.
That's the same reason I'm concerned about McDonald's Land Scared Silly, is that there's going to be some racism in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that most things, as we get further away from when they are made, you know, that's the thing about things. They don't normally age well. Because I think...
Hamburglar, racist.
Yeah.
You know what, Darren? Back yourself up there. Name one piece of art that hasn't aged well. Well, yeah. Name one.
Mona Lisa.
Dude, you know what? To be fair, you know, last time I said I was going to start watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force again. If you know, we'll get away from the political correctness aging well. You know what does not age well? Just the quality of shows.
Like Flash animation.
I cannot. I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I went to restart it yesterday, and I just can't even handle how bad the animation is in early Aqua Teen. I'm spoiled now, and That's the biggest curse of The Simpsons. Yeah,
is because now that it's in HD, the new episodes look beautiful, but
bad.
It's trash. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So, guys.
Yeah.
I will throw myself on the grenade. When we record next Tuesday at 7, I will have watched Ernest Goes to Africa.
Thursday.
So you don't have to.
Next Thursday.
And we'll discuss it next Thursday.
Got it.
Should we all just watch it and just do an Ernest Goes to Africa episode on Thursday?
I don't know if I'm willing to put that much time.
Yeah, let's do it. Who cares?
Oh my
We've
God.
recorded a shitload of Homerphilias. Next Thursday's Ernest Goes to Africa episode. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing an episode of this show without watching an episode of The Simpsons for a long time. Basically, since we started it, we've been trying to figure out ways to slow down because we only have 700 episodes to record. So why don't we take this opportunity?
We're going to spam our feed with these weird, like, YouTube recorded audio ones. We might as well record some bonus episodes and do some Ernest movies or whatever the fuck.
100%.
All right. So how do we get to Tubi? What is it? Tubi?
It just, you can Google it. I'll send you a link. It's an app on your phone. You just download the app and you can.
Is it free?
You can use it.
Do you have to watch it on your phone?
No, you Chromecast it.
But can we watch it on our phone if that's how we choose to?
Yes.
I'm going on a long walk, a 3-hour walk to watch Ernest Goes to Africa.
I'm gonna watch it on my phone, like sitting on the toilet with my elbows on my knees and get really sore.
I have rollerblades now, so I am going to watch that on rollerblades, also sitting on the toilet.
Wow.
Great.
You put your rollerblades on every time you sit on the toilet?
Yeah, I do
Yes.
put my rollerblades on when I take a shit or piss.
That
I
makes
also
sense.
sit down to pee.
That makes sense
So
too. Hey,
he-
whatever makes you happy. Hey, any of our viewers, if you guys want to participate, I am manning the chat, so feel free to type anything, and I will relay it to our hosts here. Hey, wait, who? We didn't introduce the show or who we are because we're really bad at that.
We're a little podcast called Homerphilia, a
Oh,
Simpsons
yeah?
saga, where each week us two hosts, me, Devin Rose, and my good friend Andy Reid, and engineer Darren Shelton,
That's me.
talk about an episode of The Simpsons or an artist movie.
Allegedly, we talk about The Simpsons.
Allegedly, we talk about The Simpsons. I can't
also-
wait. I'm immediately more excited for next week's episode than I am the one we're currently.
Yeah, we need to just skate right through this so we can get to the earnest.
Yeah, let's go. So how was your quarantine weekend? Your core weekend?
Okay.
Wow, rollerblading, it rocks.
Have you been rollerblading? You been using them? I think
I've been
last
skating. I've been
episode is the
shredding.
one you were waiting. You kept checking the door for your inline skate delivery, right? And now
I do have inline skates. I have a pair of size 10.5 Razors Cults. And boy, howdy, let me tell you, aggressive inlining is back in a major way. And as soon as the skate parks open up, I encourage you all to fucking take your rollerblades and meet me there because I'm going to be just shredding the cope.
I'll totally get a pair, and we can go to the neighborhood skate park in River Rouge by my house. We can go there and we
will be doing
skate.
a live Homerphilia event at the River Rouge skate
So
park
everybody,
on Jefferson.
when I show up back at Planet Ant with a broken arm, it's gonna be because of Devin. Hey, Doug. Doug is here. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Welcome, buddy. It's good to see you.
Go comedy?
Yes, of that.
Go comedy.
Of comedy, of the aliens, of the play that the three of us did together.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Of also, he exists in my dreams from time to time.
Doug, inline skating is not lame. It's cool.
Doug, what alternative?
I like Devin also buy something and then claim that it's back because I'm the only one.
Hey, Doug, we do this thing here where you're not allowed to call something lame unless you offer an alternative solution. So you can call inline skating lame, but you then have to offer a better solution. And that's how we change the world.
Listen, but skateboarding is not cooler than inline skating. Everyone, please watch the movie Brink on Disney Plus. If you're a Simpsons fan, you've already got Disney Plus because of The Simpsons. Watch Brink. It just shows you that inline skating is cool in a major way.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool in a major way. Have you used the grind plates yet, bro?
Yeah, I did put some wax on my deck, and the grind plates are pretty rocking.
So wait, you waxed your deck and then you went skating after you jerked it?
Oh man,
yeah, I have to.
I would be interested to learn if we've ever had an episode where we haven't talked about J&O at some point in time. You think there's been one?
It's hard to not mention something that's constantly on your mind 100% of every day.
All right, Doug makes an excellent point that inline skating is very cool in Mighty Ducks 2. That is the best of the three Mighty Ducks movies, in my opinion.
Which one was 2?
2 is where they get Keenan and they learn the knuckle puck, and then the Bash brothers meet, and that's pretty rocking.
And then 3, they go to college or whatever?
3 is where they go to the private school on scholarship.
Private school, I mean. Yeah.
Junior Olympics or whatever the fuck, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
that old bag of bones.
That's the one where they like prank each other and stuff, right? And then they got to prank what's his name because he's.
Oh, there's a lot of pranks in all of them, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start Mighty Ducks pranking you.
What's the biggest prank you guys have ever pulled?
I'm gonna get a bunch of tubes and a bunch of ants, and I'm gonna put them in your dorm room.
That's
hell yeah,
the biggest prank you've ever pulled?
Yeah, dude, that's the biggest prank I've ever pulled for sure. Hell yeah, Bash Brothers. I agree, dog. Hell yeah, Bash Brothers.
Yeah, biggest prank I ever pulled, probably convincing a rich family I was their son that went missing and bilking them for everything they had.
That's good, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, that was such a good prank. I basically found a rich family that their son went missing, and that convinced them that I was him, and they gave me everything they had.
Kolbeck said that once he convinced a band teacher that he was deaf, and she believed him for 3 months.
That's a good
prank.
That's a good one.
I convinced Congress that there were a bunch of WMDs in Iraq.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, pulled the wool over their eyes.
Wow.
Good one, man. Good one.
Wow.
Dottie Dart says I'm a twin and we swapped all the time. That's a good prank too. I wish I was. I wonder if Devin, we should both grow bushy beards and then when my hair is long enough, we should try to switch and we'll do sunglasses and hoods and see what happens.
Yeah, but I don't want any of your responsibilities.
I would love all of your responsibilities.
You mean shredding the fucking skateboard?
Right, dude. I would love that.
Being a weirdo?
Yeah, to be the proponent of skating coming back in a major way.
Yeah,
I'm the face of inline skating in America right now.
That's good, dude.
Devin, you really have to be careful with what's happening right now because I believe that Darren's trying to steal your identity and make you have to do all the dumb bullshit he has to do for the ant.
I don't want to be in charge of Planet Ant. That sucks. That's like
listen, it's not hard. It runs itself, and artists are really easy to work with.
Yeah.
Artists, historically easy to work with people.
Arts organizations historically bring in a lot of money to be able to do things with.
I would not want to have to work with me.
I would not want to have to work with just about anybody, but you don't see me complaining, buddy.
At Planet Ant, we work with musicians and theater and comedians who all come from illustrious professions who are known for punctuality and professionalism.
Yeah, and
so it's just a cakewalk.
Right, exactly. And it's all good and easy.
You know what's sick about inline skating is that if you go fast enough, you can outrun the coronavirus, baby.
Yeah.
No, that's what I heard. Yeah. And is it true? Did I the story I read was that the more wheels you're using for transportation, the harder it is for the virus to catch up.
Yeah, and that's why right now ice road truckers with all of their 18 wheels are just cruising past this virus at speeds unheard of by anyone else.
So from my understanding, unicyclists are endangering themselves.
Right. Huge trouble. 100% of unicyclists have died from the virus.
From the virus, because you can't outrun it.
100%.
Right.
Yes. You cannot outrun it with one wheel. Bicycling is not a good idea.
Rosie from the Jetsons is dead from the virus because she only has one wheel.
Right. But every single centipede on roller skates doing great.
Doing great.
Yeah, because they got so many wheels.
Like 100. I mean, a centipede on roller skates, that's like 400 wheels.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
Tricycle, people riding a tricycle,
they're a little
not
better.
Doing great right now.
But they're a little better off than the unicyclers.
No. A little better off, but that's only one more wheel than a bicycle.
Right. That's math, and that's just math.
Yeah. Now, cars, that's where you're starting to see people start to be able to outrun this thing because 4 wheels is a good amount of wheels.
It's a pretty good amount of
and
wheels.
Then cars too, that's twice as many wheels. And Mater is solving mysteries.
Yeah. And
when they night
the wheelies from Return to Oz, dog. Yeah, that's true. They always creep me out, those guys, because they had roller skates on their hands and their feet, and then they would roll around.
Goodness.
Now, if you have soap shoes, you are already dead from the virus because there are no wheels on soap shoes. That's just
not
for grinding.
Not a single one. I did have a pair of those growing up.
What are those things?
They're skater shoes.
Right.
They're like a pair of puffy Vans.
Okay.
But they have a grind plate in the shoe.
So you would just run and grind on shit?
Yeah, you can run and grind on shit.
That doesn't seem.
I got in trouble with my parents because I waxed up the border of our garden in the backyard.
That makes sense.
Made it all ugly.
Wow.
Vanilla Ice got in trouble with his parents because he waxed a chump like a candle. Yeah. I know, because he sang about that in his song.
Oh my god!
Now, what is that? Let's break that down for a second.
Yeah.
What does it mean to wax a chump?
It's the same as waxing the deck. It means a little jo.
So he jerked that guy off.
Right.
He's bragging. He's bragging about how well he jerked that guy off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a candle.
I waxed him like a candle.
I heard we're supposed to get in Michigan 55-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, and power's going to go out. So get your candles ready and get ready to whack some chumps because you got nothing else to do tomorrow.
Is the wind thing real or is that bit?
No, we're really supposed to have power outages in Michigan tomorrow.
If my power goes out, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it. I feel as if that's bad, very bad. But
time to J.O. by candlelights like the Pilgrims did.
Right. That's what they're known for, J.O. by candlelight. Hey, can we introduce the episode? One of you. Go ahead. I don't
this
have
episode?
the stuff. Yeah, let's just at least get the dialogue
watched?
Open. Then people can comment about it, and we can continue talking about wheelies and J.O.
Season 3, episode 2, baby.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Lisa goes to Washington.
Mr. Lisa.
Everybody that was there with us on Thursday, for our last live stream, we recorded an episode.
Oh yeah.
It'll drop on our stream. It'll drop on our stream in a couple months. When we get to it, but we watched the Michael Jackson episode.
Oh yeah, buddy.
So you don't have to. So we are actually on to season 3, episode 2. We're hitting the ground running into season 3. This is another classic episode. Mr. Lisa Goes to Washington, wherein Lisa writes a patriotic essay and gets she's given a trip to Washington, D.C. for a chance to win $10,000. But while she's there, she sees her dirty congressman accept a bribe from the logging industry and rewrites her essay to be a diatribe about corruption in Washington. And she might have changed the world a little bit for the better.
So this is our first time we get our family outside. Right? I mean, we went camping within the Springfield Forest before, but we've never. I guess we went to France. We went to France with Crepes of Wrath. Bart went to France,
but not the whole family.
There was no whole family going somewhere.
Yeah. No, we were just talking about the Simpsons Go to Blank episodes, and this is our first one of that. From here on out, they get a little cheeky with it, where they'll like take a second to have somebody say that. Like Homer will be like, all right, the Simpsons are going to Delaware.
And what's our opinion on being a little cheeky? Do we like it or do we dislike it? I, for one, think it's rude to be a little cheeky.
Personally, as someone who has a fairly good amount of cheek, I'm pro.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm against. I
can't afford to be anti-cheeky, considering the amount of cheek I myself possess.
Cheeky Andy. Disappointing. I mean, I didn't know that about you.
I'm sorry. I guess I'll do better. I didn't realize how much cheekiness irked you, bro.
Yeah, cheekiness irks me. I thought you knew that.
Oh. I'll do better. Sorry. What do you guys think?
I enjoyed this one very much. I watched this in school in my government class, sophomore year of high school.
Did you really?
My teacher was, pretty cool. She was like a cool teacher. She was good friends with Mayor Fouts of Warren, Michigan.
Tony Ross, this is interactive. We are reading your comments. So you think Devin is very pink. So that is true.
Hey, what up, Carly Silverman?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello.
Cool. Sorry for interrupting. We had a question. Yeah. So real quick, while we got a handful of new viewers, so we're manning the comments. We're talking about season 3, episode 2. It's Mr. Lisa Goes to Washington, right? Is what it's called.
Yep.
Yeah. Named after one of my favorite Jimmy Stewart movies, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I was talking about that movie with my mother earlier today.
Yep. Frank
Capra movie.
Yeah. So here we are. Yeah, I dug this episode though. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it was very fast paced, which I like a good fast paced episode.
You love a good fast paced episode.
It is demoralizing how how devastating our government's become, that watching it feels like a sad, faraway feeling.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that I don't know. There were some good Lisa moments in this episode that I really enjoyed. Like when Lisa first meets the other kids who are in the competition or whatever, and she goes, "Have you guys ever had? What did she say? Have you guys ever had problems?" Andy, are you typing?
Yeah,
it's really fucking loud,
we
man.
can hear it.
It's really obnoxious, dude.
Okay.
Come on, man. Come on, guy.
I was responding to a comment.
Oh, good for you, man.
David Urungus says early Simpsons rules.
Yeah,
and it's true, David.
Yeah,
early Simpsons does rule.
Right, but Lisa meets the other kids, and she goes, "What is the did you guys ever have issues with being whatever better than others or being advanced or whatever?" And they're like, "Yeah," and then she hugs them because that's her moment of.
The first couple minutes of this episode, is the exact plot to the movie Nebraska, the Alexander Payne movie with Will Forte, where Homer gets a check in the mail for $1 million and thinks it's real.
Yeah. So again, another well-respected piece of art from American history that has been shown to be just cheap plagiarism of an earlier Simpsons episode.
Yep.
Thank you. We've already delegitimized Mad Men on this show for stealing from The Simpsons.
Toy Story.
We've now delegitimized Nebraska from Alexander Payne.
The "You've Got a Friend in Me" song from Toy Story.
I think that Alexander Payne delegitimized his own movies with downsizing, but that's a different conversation.
I think he delegitimized himself with House of Pain. Like, who wanted that?
Yeah, like, dude, what are you doing? We get it. You have a house. Your name is Payne. Cool.
What is House of Pain?
It's what I call the cupboards under my sink. When I try to curl myself up under them and all of the pipes stick into my sides and get.
Oh, House of Pain is the hip hop trio that wrote the song "Jump Around."
Yeah, dude. House of Pain definitely is the Jump Around trio.
But you guys know what I'm talking about when I get real scared and I try to curl up under the sink, but then I can't fit that well, so it hurts.
Yeah, but you used to be able to fit, and that's why you still do it. It's a nostalgia thing, right?
Yeah.
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 I hear you, buddy. I hear you.
I dug the again. This episode, more so than last week, I believe, had a better cohesion between the segments of that episode. Like, everything flowed better, I thought.
Yeah,
I love the plot of just Homer just having this flirty little relationship with literacy for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just discovering Reader's Digest and enjoying literacy's many gifts.
I love... it's always kind of a throwaway thing. I love every single time they ever show Homer reading with those like half spectacles.
Oh, yeah.
While he's in bed. There's like throwaway moments in The Simpsons where they show Homer in those little glasses reading the back of a cereal box in bed, like just for entertainment. He's just like reading the back of a Fruit Loops box while he's sitting in bed.
Well, historically, a lot of America's most famous pieces of literature were serialized on the backs of cereal boxes. That's why they call it a serial, because they would do it on a different box each week.
Yeah.
So, like Grapes of Wrath, originally that was, written in like a paragraph at a time on the back of Grape Nut cereal.
Yeah. They called it Grape Nuts of Wrath.
Grape Nuts of Wrath.
Yeah, I loved it. It took me out a little bit that they replaced every food type of food they eat in it with grape nuts, but I understand that's just upward mobility marketing.
Well, it's frustrating is if you miss a week and all of a sudden it doesn't make sense anymore, and then you try and go back and start over, but you're just digging through hundreds and hundreds of cereal boxes you've saved in your attic.
And it wasn't fair for them to expect me to eat that much grape nuts, like to change the box like every day. And expect me to buy and eat a whole box of grape nuts so I could keep up with this stupid story.
Kids today don't understand, but like, kids today lined up at midnight to buy the new Harry Potter. I had to line up at midnight every night, 7 days a week, to buy a box of grape nuts so I could read another John Steinbeck classic. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What were there any novels that you loved growing up that you read serialized on the back of a cereal box?
Oh yeah, for sure. I read Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut on the back of Frosted Flakes, which was like that one they didn't even have to try because that's already breakfast.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You have to try to make a tie-in with it. It's just already it's the Breakfast of Champions, so we'll read Breakfast of Champions. Did we freeze? Oh no. Something happened and Darren left. I'm not sure if I'm the one still going or if...
Oh, I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm back.
Okay, goodness gracious. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about The Simpsons. I really enjoyed Homer getting so into Reader's Digest. I love it. Indignant Homer stuffing his copy of Reader's Digest into his shirt pocket
and it ripping the shirt.
Him refusing to admit that he can't get it in there until he tears his shirt, trying to get it in there. That was great.
I have ripped a lot of my clothing indignantly trying to stuff things into it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
This made me think about when I was in 7th grade and I wrote a really admiring essay about how much I loved Ronald Reagan for some reason.
What?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I was like a little Alex P. Keaton when I was in middle school.
What did you say about it?
I couldn't even tell you what it said now, but it was essentially 200 or 300 words of just like Ronald Reagan rocks. I can't. He freaking rocks. I like that he has Alzheimer's. His handling of the war on drugs rocks. His response to the AIDS crisis rocks.
He loved trickling. I love to trickle. I trickle every day and every night. Actually, I also had an experience of this doing this episode when I was in 8th grade. My middle school, our big like end of the year 8th grade field trip, every class went to Washington D.C. and did a bunch of stuff, saw all the museums and saw all the monuments and stuff. And they had little projects throughout the year where you learn about the city and learn about the history and U.S. government and all that. Part of it was an essay contest, and I won. And I got to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I in 8th grade I also went to Washington D.C. We had what was it called? Like Future City or something like that. You guys have that in your school at all? We were like essentially like you build like a model city based on like some stuff. It's pretty much like The Sims or The Sim City, but like you're like trying to build
like another game where you build a city.
Yeah, but like you're building a model and you're coming up with like ideas and stuff like that and like unique city layouts for cities of the future or whatever. But like the team of us that did that in 8th grade or whatever, we won to go to the national level in DC. So we went to DC to do this thing. And we got to see all the cool stuff too. Dude, you know what else there was in this? That one guy in this episode, that kid, he's like he's a finalist in whatever, and he's also a punt passing kick competition winner. Dude, yeah. I straight up won the regional punt passing kick when I was like,
really?
Whatever. Yeah, I swear to God. I swear, man. I swear. So that's a real competition, and I also did pretty well in it at one point in time.
It is for sure a real competition.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
I won the punt pass or trick. which is where you either punt, you pass, or you pull the wool over their eyes, and you do something sneaky.
Yeah.
And I would always choose the trick portion.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
I won the Puss Ass and Tate competition.
Right. That's good. This is good. I'm sure.
Yeah, it was yeah.
That was earlier this year, correct?
Yeah, that was this year. It was all about eating ass and puss, and I did it best.
Wow.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
And what did you win?
A year supply of Taco Bell.
Yeah. Wow, historically the food of eating ass.
Yeah, exactly. It was the Liv Moss Puss Ass and Tate competition.
You know, Andy historically does love to live Moss.
I live so Moss. You have no idea, dude. Fourth meal, I'm talking fifth, sixth, seventh meal, dude. My 8th grade field trip to Washington, D.C. took place in April 2002. It was like a big thing whether or not we were gonna go, and when we did, we drove by the Pentagon, and like they still had the big hole in it and everything. It was crazy.
Oh. Now, do you think that jet fuel can melt steel beams?
Thank you. We've been doing this show for like 40 weeks now, and we finally got to it.
Yeah.
The goal. I can't believe it's taken us this long.
I can't either, actually, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised.
So why don't you go first, Darren? Does jet fuel melt steel beams?
No, and let me tell you why. It's not hot enough. It doesn't burn hot enough. It just doesn't burn hot enough. And Devin, we already know Devin put the wool over their eyes with the WMD situation.
I'm a little sneaky boy. I'm a little Mr. Trickster.
So,
imagine how many lives you've personally have destroyed by convincing the U.S. government there were WMDs in.
Did I do that?
You're all is absolved if you do something bad and then Urkel it away.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think there were really ever any WMDs, guys.
Yeah, I'm starting to think
WebMD is a myth.
WebMD is fake. God damn it.
That is what WMD stands for, right? WebMD.
WebMD,
right.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out if WebMD was in Iraq, and oops, who did I do that? Told them there was, but no.
Yeah. It's definitely based in Silicon Valley. They went all over Iraq looking for WebMD. I loved the montage of kids reading their essays and all of the crazy analogies for freedom there were.
I'm addicted to the kinds of like weird framing devices that kids use in essays.
Yeah.
Because as an adult, any piece of writing, you don't do that. But
Right.
like I love these like
don't?
Yeah, I start every essay I write with ding, liberty, dong, the sound of the Liberty Bell. Ding.
Amazing education.
Our great schools. Dong. Our amazing hospitals.
It's so good. So good. Our amazing hospitals. I loved Nelson getting up there and talking about the flag, and he's like, 6 white stripes, 7 red ones, and a hell of a lot of stars.
Nelson would be an absolutely radicalized red
dude.
state. He would be like a
yeah.
QAnon guy at this point, probably.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It really like lightly roasts patriotism without like really hammering it home. I think they balance that tone well.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So the judging, I went back and I paused the quick shot of the judges' score sheet. So these are the 4 categories that the judges were looking for the children: originality, clarity, organization, and jingoism.
Jingoism. I love jingoism.
Yeah, it was so perfect. And Lisa got like a 39 out of 40 on her first one.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Kurt Brinker. Sorry, I haven't been keeping up with the YouTube, but Kurt Brinker said it was challenging reading Infinite Jest on the back of cereal boxes because you had to keep going back to cereal boxes from years ago just to follow the story.
I know.
I agree, Kurt.
It was infuriating to have those footnotes be on other boxes. You know. So like for when I did it, it was like I'm eating Cheerios, reading Infinite Jest. I get to a footnote. It says you got to hop over to this box of checks to read the footnote. It's a mess.
And it was frustrating because sometimes they would put the footnotes or the appendices on the bottom of the box, and I would go to read it. And when I would do that, dump out all the cereal.
Yeah,
it's on the bottom there. So that sucked.
The boxes where they had the foreword written by David Eggers were some really beautiful boxes of cereal.
Yeah. That's my favorite breakfast too, David Eggers waffles.
Why don't you say like David Eggers Benedict?
Well, I like that too, but I like the waffles more.
This is the kind of genius level egg puns you can find.
What? I'm sorry, I missed what you said. I'm feeling a little scrambled.
Oh, did you also notice that when...
Do you want to go on a run?
Do I want to go on a... What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You want to go on an egg run?
I don't know if I can crack the shell of that idea even right now.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like if I tried hard, there's maybe a dozen out there. I don't know that there's very many, grade A, extra large, quality puns.
Now, are you?
Hang on, Andy. I'm trying to steer this ship by the yoke. Does that work? Is that how you use that?
Yeah, it works.
That works.
Are you doing this? Are you doing this because you're obsessed with eggs right now because you can't get any?
Am I doing what?
Egg puns.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel a little bit like you're being a little predatory right now. I feel poached at this moment in time. And I'm
Which came first, the chicken pun or the egg pun?
Brett Mercer says sup boys.
What? What'd you say?
Brett Mercer says sup boys.
Oh, hi, Brett.
Hey, what's up, Brett?
We are talking about the one where Lisa loses faith in democracy. That is this episode, and it's a good one.
This is up Brett Alley.
This is about Brett Alley.
This losing faith in democracy is something I think we can all relate to.
Did you guys
notice
when they bring Lisa to do her first speech, like the regional one, they go into a hall called Veterans of Popular Wars?
Yes. It makes me think of that Mad Men episode where Don is not as welcomed into like their Moose Lodge because he was in the Korean War and it's all WW2 vets.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Dude, there was a couple bits in this episode I really, really enjoyed. I like the senator getting the bribes, but I loved when the logging industry guy comes through and he's like, here's an artist rendition of what the forest is like right now. And it's like this terrible, like dark, like scary looking place. And here's what happens when we come chop all the wood down. And then there's like all the animals are sitting around the stumps having tea parties. And then his response is, this isn't like burying toxic waste. People are going to notice if you chop down a bunch of trees, which again is another bit that I thought was all too real and good.
Especially after we had that toxic waste spill onto 696 like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yo, nothing like a global pandemic to make you forget the time that bright green sludge was pouring onto one of our highways.
No, that's normal.
No, nothing makes me happier than the time I drove by the green sludge and just got to see it pouring out into the road. What a horrifying drive to work that was.
From Secret of the Ooze, the sequel to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
And we also, I want to go on record as saying that we will be covering that on this podcast in one of the coming weeks after we get done with Ernest Goes to Africa.
We have to talk at some point in this show's history about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Because the secret they posit about Ooze is so grossly different than my understanding of what Ooze's secret is.
Okay.
And what was your understanding again? Because I feel like it's even different from mine.
My secret is that Ooze in and of itself is the basis of all life on this planet.
I know that you are
without Ooze, we would not exist.
Wow.
Sure.
That's pretty exciting. You know that in what's right along in those lines is in Adventure Time there are 4 elements: slime, candy, fire, and ice. So I think slime is very similar to ooze. So maybe that's.
And if you are the Avatar, you can bend all 4 of those elements. Is that correct?
Yes. Unless. Yeah. No. That's correct. I believe the slime benders. They're a very proud, culture of people. Yes.
Lisa wins the regional competition.
She does.
They at first don't believe her because it was so smart, but then the lady talks to Homer and is convinced that it was actually Lisa. But then he's excited and he says, like, he's so proud of her. I'm so proud of you, Lisa. Who would have ever guessed that reading and writing would pay off? That was fun.
Reading and writing doesn't pay off, and I'm here to say that.
No,
because I read and wrote, and look where it got me.
Yeah, quarantined.
Yeah, exactly. And you know who's not quarantined? People who can't read and write because they don't know about it.
They don't know about it. There's no way for them to know about it.
I was driving on the freeway earlier, and I saw on the overpass sign it said quarantine extended through April 30th. And it's very funny to me if that is how you get all of your news, just from the digital signs over the freeway. Like, I have to drive up and down the freeway every morning to get my daily news.
That's how
you get the blinking signs and also you get it from the blinking signs and the cups in the fences.
That's how I learned about the Oklahoma City bombing. Roadside sign.
Yeah, that's how I found out about Princess Diana dying, which was a very sad day.
Oh, I found out because my Beanie Baby mysteriously was all fucked up. because there was because the
we all had that Beanie Baby, right?
Because of the princess.
The purple Princess Diana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
I would sometimes reenact the crash where I would put her in the car and then I would have another baby be the paparazzi. And,
you know what I thought was in really poor taste?
What?
Was the JFK Beanie Baby. Like, did they really have to have his head all mashed up?
I liked the Zapruder Beanie Baby where it's just him.
Yeah.
100 feet away.
Yeah.
Taking
I had
Super
the whole
8.
set. I had the JFK Beanie Baby. I had Zapruder. I had the second shooter. I had all of them.
Oh, you had all of? Did you have Jackie Onassis?
Jackie O. The Texas governor that was also in the car. I I almost just said Haley Joel Osment, but that's not that guy's name.
I had the Haley Joel Osment Beanie Baby, him in The Sixth Sense, him in Secondhand Lions, him as the voice of Sora in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Oh, he was Sora?
I have the Haley Joel Osment in Tusk Beanie Baby.
Did you?
I have the Haley Joel Osment in The Spoils Before Babylon, The Spoils Before Dying, and The Spoils of Babylon Beanie Babies.
Have you in season 2 of Hulu's Future Man, he is the funniest fucking character ever because he is
Haley Joel Osment's very funny.
Oh, he plays a fucking angry, like really fragile computerized personality that's like trying to like whatever, I don't know, but he's fucking hilarious.
I don't know if this is true,
yes,
or if it's just one of those crazy celebrity urban legends,
right?
But I've heard this story of Haley Joel Osment after he was a childhood star or whatever. He tried to like normalize himself. He went back to school. He goes to UCLA Film School, and he had a presentation to do in his UCLA acting class. He had to do like some sort of one-man show. And what he did for his was go in front of the whole class, disrobe and jerk off in front of everybody.
Absolutely not. I don't believe that.
What?
Andrew.
That's what I heard. Somebody Google it. I'm going to Google it.
You go ahead and Google it. Wait,
all right, I guarantee
what do you want
true.
me to do?
He was, I want to be clear, had a starring role, one of the leads on the Jeff Foxworthy show. He played Matt Foxworthy.
Haley?
I think about that a lot.
What? So you think that he J.O.'d in front of a class presentation?
That's what I always heard.
All right, well, we're going to figure it out right now. We're going to get to the bottom
He
of
plays, I forget what the character's name is, but he plays, what's that guy's name? The dude who plays Omar from The Wire, I forget his name. He plays his agent in The Spoils Before Dying, and he plays this like super Britishy jazz dude that's so funny. His name's like Alistair St. Barnaby. It fucking rocks. Spoils Before Dying, one of the funniest miniseries of all time.
I never watched that one. I saw the Babylon.
You can borrow my copy of it. I bought it on DVD.
Okay.
I can't find anything about Haley Joel Osment jacking off in front of a group of people. So
just look up jacking off and see if you can find anything.
All
just
right.
get rid of the Haley Joel Osment part.
Just jacking off in front of people.
Just Google that and see if you can find anything.
Right,
jacking off in front of people.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Google jacking off in front of people.
I don't know. I don't see it either. I'll do some heavy deeper diving.
Yeah, you're gonna
about that. It's probably one.
I'll do some heavy diving.
Yeah, you're gonna need to deep dive into famous people jacking off in front of other people.
Yeah, it might be one of those like Richard Gere gerbil situation things as well.
Yeah,
you know what, Andy? Sometimes you look like Haley Joel Osment. Sometimes. Like there are some versions of you where you look like
100%. I always in public I always get Zach Galifianakis, which I don't agree with. I can see
that a little bit. I can see you have some of the same mannerisms as what's his name from he plays Bevers on Broad City, but he's you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
he was John Belushi in a feudal.
Gemberling.
Yeah, you have some of the same like vocal mannerisms as Gemberling, like some of the same improv moves as him.
I take that as a compliment.
He cracks me up. Great improviser. Future guest of the show, John Gemberling.
Yes. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, future guest. Gemberling.
We should tease this. We should tease this before the quarantine. The last episode we filmed normally of this. Who's our guest, Devin?
Oh, Matt Groening.
Matt Groening.
Our guest right before.
If anybody's out there listening, we started this. We started the show. The first guests we had were just our comedy friends. We all do comedy in Detroit. We're improvisers. We run Planet Ant Theater. We got a real special guest before quarantine hit in. We always introduce our guests when they speak up for the first time. And I'm really excited for that episode with Matt Groening to
Famous
drop.
Friend of Jeffrey Pepstein, the Pepsi pervert. Known flyer on Jeffrey Epstein's jet. I know your hat says Top Gun, Andy, but it kind of looks sometimes like it says Top Gunt. Like some of the wings coming out of it looks like a T, and I keep reading it as Top Gunt.
It says Top Grunt.
Oh, Top Grunt, and that's an award you won.
Top Grunt. It's an award I won in
1992.
Is it 2? Yeah, it's an award I won in 1992. Top Grunt. I was in the All-American Grunt competition.
How did you achieve that grunt? What did you use to get that grunt?
I deadlifted 750 pounds
of
metal.
Wow.
But I did it after I ate 3.5 pounds of cheese pierogies. So I had a belly full of pasta and cheese, and then I attempted to lift 750 pounds over my head. And that's how I got the top grunt.
Over your head. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Incredible.
That's the top grunt right there.
One can only dream of achieving such a grunt. It was the grunt heard around the world.
That's what they said. They said it was 92, so they said they'd never heard a 5-year-old grunt like that before.
It is wild. I read that you said the competition took place in where was that again?
Azerbaijan.
Within 150 miles of that radius, it shattered everyone's eardrums.
Yeah,
now that is a historically deaf area. Because
in in a sci-fi movie when they have a big bomb where the sound of it races out before the rest of the explosion, and there's just this blue orb of energy racing out through the city.
Absolutely.
That's what my grunt did. It broke every window within 30-mile radius.
Sometimes I have gone to your house and you'll just be holding a bunch of shattered glass and you'll just say, "That's what my grunt did." And I'll say, "Okay, Andy, whatever. Whatever." And you're just playing with your broken glass. Now I get it.
That's what my wife says. She always says, if I had a nickel for every time Andy said, "That's what my grunt did."
You do sometimes have a little catchphrase, a little Urkel style, where you say, "Did my grunt do that?"
Yeah, did my grunt do that? Mostly if I walk into a big mess.
Did my grunt do that?
Did my grunt do that?
Top Grunt, 1992. Goes to Andy Reid.
Well,
Top Grunt.
Welcome to America. Top Grunt.
So Lisa, in the end of this one, she does kind of change the world a little bit, right?
She does.
Which is surprising.
First off, them getting into Washington was just filled with joke after joke after joke. I loved them not. I love them on the plane. Them not really understanding plane protocol. Bart causing a ruckus on the plane. Them getting off the plane and seeing a limo with somebody with a sign that says Simpsons. And Homer goes, "Look, Marge, those people have the same last name as we do." That was really funny.
I like that they checked into the Watergate. I like that there was the monument for where Nixon bowled back-to-back 300 games, which I thought was funny.
Bowling rocks.
I liked I loved the VIP bit where they get VIP and Homer's got this little
Homer.
He's got this little like we mentioned earlier, he's found literacy as a thing in the world, and he's reading Reader's Digest religiously, which gets us to the whole Washington plot. But he gets this VIP badge, and then he goes, "Excuse me, I just have one question. What's the I stand for?" Important. And he's like, "Okay, I got one more question. What's the V?" Very. And what's the? And she's like, "Person." And he's like, "Oh, What's the I for again? Which is good.
What's the I stand for? Yeah,
it's good.
Homer's intelligence, especially in these years, it's so malleable. Where it's like he can either be like literate in reading Reader's Digest, or like he will forget to breathe if he doesn't actively think about it.
But that's also like one of the biggest complaints people have about the decline of The Simpsons is that Homer is too stupid now. But he's pretty fucking dumb right off the get-go.
Yeah, he really is.
I'm addicted to stupidity.
Yeah. That has never been my complaint about the show. I don't think they dumbed down Homer as much as people say they did. He's already pretty fucking stupid. When they got to the competition to pick up their badges, it says like Reader's Digest, Future Patriot competition, whatever, and then it's got a Shakespeare quote, and it said like their tagline is "Brevity is ... wit," which is very funny to me. The Shakespeare quote is "Brevity is the soul of wit," and they just edited it down to "Brevity is wit."
This episode rocks.
Yeah, it's pretty
my
solid.
faith in democracy has never been stronger.
Right.
I've never felt better about my government's ability to take care of me.
Lisa's diatribe speech had some like banger lines when she gets up there and she's like, 200 years ago, Washington, D.C. was founded on a soiled swamp, and in 200 years, very little has changed.
One nation under the dollar, with liberty and justice for none.
Yeah. It still stinks
like
with
song.
The fetid stench of corruption.
This is like, it sounds like lyrics to like a shitty like 80s DC hardcore band punk song.
I also love the bit of her going to the Lincoln Monument for guidance, and that everyone is
Sean, it's now a good time to buy a house.
Mr. Lincoln, should I grow a mustache?
I do fly to DC once a year just to ask the Lincoln Monument if I should grow a mustache, and every year he says no. But this year, I think it's my year.
He's always said no.
He's always said no, but I think this year he's going to say I should grow a mustache.
I have faith in you. I am excited. Please report back once you go.
Absolutely. I very much enjoyed Marge whispering to Homer that she thinks the Washington Monument looks like a dick, and Homer being like, Marge, grow up. It's so satisfying for her to make the dumb joke.
Yeah. You don't see it that often. It's always good. Loved it. Oh, I also loved the like the congressional aide who's watching the speeches. He's listening to Lisa, and he rushes out into the hallway to call his boss. And he's like, "Sir, you don't understand. A little girl is losing faith in democracy." And that's what kicks him.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, a little girl is losing faith in democracy.
Honestly, if we're just going to segue into it, that is my joke of the episode. That's my favorite moment.
Yeah, I mean, that whole run was good, of jumping from that to like the bust of the senator taking bribes to the Congress writing the bill, and then he's like, "I agree with the law, but shouldn't we throw in something about raises for ourselves?"
No.
And then it goes to the president. It goes to
raises for ourselves.
It goes to Bush, and he signs the bill, and he's like, "Oh, that's gonna make my bosses happy." And then they're like,
"This was written by George Meyer, who is my favorite Simpsons writer and one of my favorite people, and most of his episodes are about loss of faith in institutions." And even though there is that sequence that rectifies it for Lisa, we know, and The Simpsons knows, that is a fantasy and it doesn't exist.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So it's like, this is a satisfying episode about a loss of faith in an institution. And it's like, this is the version we want to see, but we know it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean the breakaway is. I mean
moment.
that breakaway point of a little girl is losing faith in democracy. Like that's where it's like that never would fucking happen.
That's where it goes.
Like,
off
that's where
the
it goes
rails,
off the rails. It's like all right, business as usual would have been what happened there.
Right.
Yeah. That Bush is talking to like some foreign dignitary, and the guy's like, "You have bosses?" And
250 million of them.
250 million of them. So funny because obviously that's not the way our leaders think.
And someday that's going to be Homer's neighbor.
That's right. Darren, you're in for a treat.
Oh,
you're
yeah?
in for a treat the time that the Bushes move in across the street from The Simpsons.
Oh, I'm excited.
Go full Dennis the Menace.
If you enjoy iconic cartoon characters punching a former president in the face while they're in a sewer surrounded by bees, brother, I've got an episode of The Simpsons to watch.
Brother.
That's good. I'm excited. So wait, what's favorite jokes? Where are we at? What you say, Devin? Yours is the little girls losing faith.
I'm doing a little girl has lost a faith in democracy.
Yeah, I liked. I definitely liked the artist's rendition of the forest pre-logging, and then the artist's rendition of the forest post-logging. I thought that was funny. I thought that the whole bribe scene was a good scene. I don't know how to say this, but I want to pay me a bribe. Yeah.
Probably Nelson's speech and that whole run of just kids doing really over the top liberty speeches.
Yep.
That's probably my favorite. But there's also a moment where you see a father get mad at his kid for not winning the speech competition, and the dad goes, "We the purple? What the hell is that?" And he's like, gets really mad at his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're at that point, guys. Darren.
Yes.
What's your favorite episode of The Simpsons so far?
I'm sticking with. I made. Those of us who are journeying along in these live streams, you missed the one we recorded. I made a controversial decision, and I changed my favorite episode of The Simpsons so far, to Stark Raving Dad, which is the Michael Jackson episode. And I'm gonna keep it there because I like the controversial topic.
All right.
And I think it's a better app. It's a better app than this one.
For those listening for the first time, Devin and I are hardcore Simpsons fans. Darren is watching all of these for the first time. We're watching the Simpsons in order from beginning to end, and we're going to say our favorite episode based on this specific rewatch. Darren's is right now Stark Raving Dad, the episode featuring Michael Jackson. Devin, favorite episode?
Sticking with Lisa's Substitute.
Sticking with Lisa's Substitute, a seminal episode. This I love episodes driven by Lisa. I think it's great because her passion drives real emotional growth in a lot of these episodes. The other one was on a much more personal level. This is really one of the first episodes in The Simpsons history that they go so aggressively toward making actual political points. There's been episodes to this point where there's jabs and discussions about institutions, but it's not really the focal point of the episode. This is the first one where they kind of step out of the family dynamics and make a much broader point, not only about American culture, but American government. I think it was really well done. And guys, I'm changing. We all
we are all
That's
different.
horseshit.
We need to get a good. There's got to be a classic coming up that we all agree again. Because right now I feel like you guys aren't my friends anymore.
Pretty soon.
I'm sure. Yeah, like I said, season 3 is full of heavy hitters. So I'm sure that there's going to be one that we all come around again. And right now we all have a different one.
And just for reference, the other things that we're tracking as well, we all I think are unanimous still that the worst episode of The Simpsons ever is Homer's Night Out. so far.
Absolutely.
And at the conclusion of each season, we're deciding what our favorite season was. Right now, we have agreement that season 2 is better than season 1. So that's what we have all agreed on so far.
Yeah.
I have to pee really bad, so I will be back. But I am going to, in the interim, thank our sponsor, the Top Grunt Competition, running now 35 years strong.
Yeah.
The grunts have never been louder.
The grunts have never
I'm
been
gonna
louder.
pee. I'll be right back.
Cool. I'm going to thank our sponsor, Punt, Pass, and Kick. They want to be very clear that they are not the weird, perverted, similarly named competition.
I would like to thank our sponsor, the Puss, Ass, and Taint competition.
Right.
America's premier competition about eating downstairs areas.
And I want to again clarify that Punt, Pass, and Kick is not that. Those are two separate sponsors that honestly their sponsorships probably were made to differentiate themselves. But they both happen to sign on to be sponsors of the show. So
I would like to once again reiterate that the Puss, Ass, and Taint competition is in no way affiliated with Punt, Pass, and Kick, nor do they want to be, because that is little kitty stuff, and what we're talking about is eating ass.
Right. And I would again like to clarify that Punt, Pass, and Kick does not involve eating ass at all.
And I would like to clarify that Punt, Pass, and Kick is boring because it's just about how far you can get a football from one point to the next. And what I'm talking about is going downtown on some strange.
I would like to also clarify that it's not just about how far you can get the football to go, but also how accurate to a straight line that you, because it's the distance outward. Subtract it. You subtract from that the how far off of the target line that you are. So there's a little more to it than just getting a ball as far away as you can. So.
And I would once again like to reiterate that it's not just about how well you eat pussy and ass. It's about how long you can last and whether or not you can be down there for an extended period of time without your jaw muscles getting sore.
Well, I commend you for your abilities in the competition that you have deemed better than my competition. But
and I am so proud of you for being able to kick and throw a football real far. I'm doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, well, the Lord is a big supporter of football. That's why it's on Sundays. So I don't really know that the Lord is all about eating ass. Andy Reid.
Yep, he absolutely is. I don't know if you've ever read the Bible, but it's against the laws of God and man to have sex before marriage, but there's nothing in there about eating ass.
Well, I don't know that the Bible is a good reference for just about anything there, Andy.
Is there any rules about grunting before marriage?
All right, folks, that was our episode.
All right, everybody, we will be back. We're doing Thursdays and Sundays, 7:00. So we'll be back next Thursday. So watch the.
Oh wait.
What's the next episode, Andy? Do you got it out in front of you?
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, look it up and let them know.
Oh wait, no, the next episode is Ernest.
Ernest Goes to Africa.
I guess we're watching Ernest Goes to Africa.
Please follow along on Tubi.
God damn it, we're gonna watch Ernest Goes to Africa.
Next episode, folks, we are going to do our first non-Simpsons ep. We're taking a break. We're all going to watch Ernest Goes to Africa for free on Tubi.
Full disclaimer, I wholeheartedly anticipate this movie being very racist, and I want you to know that we are not supporters of that.
Can I also say that if you watch it and you do like it and you want to support it, please do buy it. I know it's streaming for free, but if you like what you see, please buy that episode.
Yeah, and just
and you know what, if you watch the episode, if you watch the movie to follow along with our episode and you find yourself really enjoying it and its depictions of different cultures, maybe stop watching our show.
So that's our Homerphilia episode. I just want to remind everybody that we're part of Planet Ant Podcasts. We are all people who regularly do stuff at Planet Ant Theater in Detroit. If you want to support us, we're currently closed because of quarantine. But you can, if you got any money, we're a nonprofit. You can Venmo at Planet Ant. You can go to planetnet.com/donate if you feel like giving money. We have a bunch of
Tax
stages.
deductible, is that correct?
It is tax deductible, but we have a bunch of stages and a bunch of artists that call this place home. And if you haven't heard of us, follow us on the social medias. We would love to have you be part of our creative community. But until Thursday, we are Homerphilia, and we will see you later.